Welcome to this week's edition of Morning Line, the USTA's weekly news magazine. I'm Paul Ramlow. My co-host Allison Conte and the USTA crew of photographer Mark Hall and videographer Rich Johnston have been on the road this past week, traveling to Mohawk Racetrack for Pepsi North America Cup Night, Vernon Downs for the Empire Breeders' Classic, and Plainridge Racecourse for the opening of the new Racino. So let's go to Allison for a recap of what she's seen.
Okay.
Thanks, Paul. We're here at Plainridge Racecourse in Plainville, Massachusetts for the grand opening of the Racino. We'll take you through reactions from horsemen and fans alike, plus the ribbon cutting, but first, let's take a look back at this weekend. On Saturday, we were north of the border at Mohawk Racetrack for the exciting first test for sophomore pacing colts. We saw two Delaware-based sensational horses go head-to-head for the $1 million grand prize in the North America Cup, with Wakizashi Hanover coming out on top. Both Wakizashi Hanover and Wiggle-It Jiggle-It are right back in to go this weekend for the Max Hemp eliminations at Pocono Downs. So with any luck, we'll see them go head-to-head once again the following week in the final.
Here to the outside comes Wakizashi Hanover to take his best crack at him. Wiggle-It Jiggle-It put to pressure. Wakizashi Hanover on the outside comes by. And it's T-Trick and Wakizashi Hanover off the dreamy two-hole trip. Crown him the king of the Pepsi North American Cup. Wakizashi Hanover wins.
This was for my dad.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
How hard were you driving him home?
Okay. As always, I'm just screaming.
My horse was really strong, and I was following Montrell's horse as long as I could. I didn't want to pull too quick, but when I pulled him, I was real confident. I still had the plugs in, and I got even with him and pulled him, and he got by him and held the lead. So I was super happy with his effort.
Your tough stretch duel didn't quite get there.
Yeah, big fractions early in the mile, so that kind of took a toll. So, but he raced good. We're happy.
The NA Cup undercard also saw Razor Sharp Be a Magician dominate her Armbro flight competition in a stunning 151 and 4 mile. Back to being pretty aggressive tonight?
Yeah, last couple weeks, I don't know if it's the weather change, but it's cooler up here, and when I score down, she's up in the rig and she's dragging me around there, and it's a good feeling. When I know she's feeling good when I score down, it gives me a lot of confidence.
And on the pacing side, local ladies showed their skills in both the Fan Hanover and the Roses Are Red finals. Wrangler Magic, a locally trained and driven filly, brought her A-game in taking down favorite invaders Sassa Hanover and JK She's a Lady in the Fan Hanover. And on a night like tonight, when you've got all the other drivers invading and all the other trainers invading, is it a little more special for you to win locally this race?
Oh, definitely. It's always special when the best in the world are here, and I'm very proud of her.
U.S. invaders proved unlucky in the Roses Are Red final also, where Ontario Sire Stakes graduate Lady Shadow proved her 148 and 3 elimination win was no fluke.
Winners we see showing up here on the Grand Circuit night in Mohawk coming up big, Lady Shadow. The victory tonight, 148
This week's tweet of the week is not actually a tweet. It's a Facebook post from Montrell Teague, the 24-year-old driver of Wiggle-It Jiggle-It. We're using the Facebook post because it was such a great display of horsemanship and sportsmanship we couldn't resist. Montrell says, just landed back home. Me and Wiggle-It were second in the NA Cup with a strong effort on the front in 148. Got asked a lot after the race if I was disappointed. Everybody wants to win, but I could never be disappointed when he races his heart out every time he hits the track. It's a long year and there's still a lot of money on the table. And thank you everyone for this continued support. For more in-depth coverage of the North America Cup and the Good Times Final, check out our recap video on YouTube. From Mohawk Racetrack, it wasn't a straight shot to Plainridge for the USTA crew. Instead, we took a detour to Vernon Downs to catch some Empire Breeders' Classic action. The filly Barndoll dominated her competition in a field that included Hambletonian Oaks eligible Lockdown Lindy and Katniss. Unfortunately for the fans, Barndoll is not staked to the Oaks. The Colts division was won by Crazy Wow in a convincing 151 and 1 track record fashion, who is also not Hambletonian eligible. Where does he stack up, and how do you feel about this horse, in the 3-year-old ranks?
He went a huge mile here today, there's no doubt about that. And I raced him a couple times before where he felt like, he had 3 lungs and he could go all day. And, the track is not really fast now, and 51 and 1 here is a huge mile.
And now here we are back at Plainridge, where the Racino opening has brought hope to the horsemen as well as new jobs and economic growth to Plainville.
1, 2, 3.
The opening of Plainridge Park Casino security Please open the doors and let the customers start flowing in.
For the land of the free and the home of the brave. Oh yeah! For the casino. Come on. And for all of you, number 3, here we go.
Today is a momentous day in Massachusetts.
Have fun with this place. It's going to be a high-energy gaming, racing, dining, and entertainment facility. Enjoy it. Have fun. Create memories.
Foremost, it's $250 million of economic development. It's jobs, 600 jobs being created here. And the town's really been great. I mean, the town really embraced us when we came in. Again, the track was a big part of the town. So the support we got here was tremendous from the townspeople, from the selectmen, from all the surrounding towns here.
Through Jim Hardy, I got to know some of the horsemen too, and they're real nice people. And all they want to do is race and chase their dreams. Well, I'm there to support you. That's what I do. I mean, as a taxpayer, if I can help you do that, that's what I'll do. And we were scratching around, but now we don't have to scratch. We can take a deep breath and that kind of thing and say, yeah, it's our day. So we'll enjoy that.
We had two struggling businesses here in Massachusetts, harness racing and thoroughbred racing, and we were staring down the barrel of a rifle last year with the elimination of standardbred racing if this license didn't come through. For the breeding farms and for all the support that goes into harness racing, the guys are thrilled, and I know a lot of places are ready to expand. It looks like there's maybe a couple new farms coming into the area, so it's all good. I had Chris McElwain to lean on throughout the whole process. He's been through it at other racetracks, and as time went on, he educated me on how to protect racing in the casino environment, which I had no idea what was coming my way. Once we get our purses up and we have a game plan for our purse account, what kind of races we're going to have, and then we're going to integrate some marketing ideas with that, and also maybe assist the property in Maine. Maybe do some some different series and things like that between Bangor and Plainridge, and kind of try to use that close relationship with a sister track.
The Downs at Mohegan Sun Pocono will host 4 sets of stakes eliminations this Saturday. There will be 3 eliminations in the Max C. Hemp Memorial for 3-year-old colt pacers, the Earl Beale Jr. Memorial for 3-year-old colt trotters, and the James M. Lynch Memorial for 3-year-old filly pacers. The Ben Franklin for older pacers will be raced in a pair of eliminations. As Allison mentioned, North America Cup winner Wakazashi Hanover and runner-up Wiggle It Jiggle It are in the field in the Hempt and drew into separate eliminations. In the Arsenal, who won his NA Cup elimination and was 4th in the final, is in another Hempt elim, where he will face last year's Dan Patch Award winner Artspeak. The Earl Beale eliminations are loaded with talent. Dexter Cup champion Habitat is in the first elimination and will take on stakes winner Cruzado de la Noche. The second elimination features Dan Patch Award winner Pinkman and last year's Peter Houghton Memorial victor Centurion ATM. Recent Empire Breeders' Classic winner Crazy Wow is in the third elimination, where he will face Uncle Lass, a winner in 3 PA Sire Stakes races this year, the most recent over the same Pocono Oval. Last year's Horse of the Year, J.K. She's a Lady, drew the rail in the James Lynch eliminations, where she will take on arch rival Sassa Hanover. The other 2 eliminations feature such top-notch fillies as Better Be Steppin', Better Said, and Happiness. And foiled again, harness racing's $7 million man heads the 9-horse first elimination of the Ben Franklin for free-for-all pacers, while State Treasurer, a 148-3 victor in the Mohawk Gold Cup this past Saturday, is in the second 9-horse elimination. That leads us into this edition of Paul's Paddock Picks. With 11 elimination races for the Pocono Stakes, it was tough to come up with just one race this week. So I've decided to look at this weekend's other Grand Circuit race, the TVG Free-for-All Trot, on Friday at Meadowlands Racetrack. This select field of 6 will see the North American debut of Aki Svanstad's Mr. Peak Elite. This 8-year-old male trotter has had plenty of overseas success and won the 2013 Copenhagen Cup. Mr. Peak Elite has earned more than $500,000 in his career and prepped for his debut with a third-place finish in a qualifier on June 6th at the Meadowlands. He was timed in 1:55. In the TVG, he will face tough competition from the consistent DW's NY Yank, early season sensation Milady's Monet, and Obrigado, a runner-up in 4 of his 5 starts this year. My pick for the race will be DW's NY Yank. He defeated Obrigado and Milady's Monet in 1:52-1 in the Meadowlands Open last week after losing by just a neck to Be a Magician in the Charlie Hill Memorial earlier this month at Scioto Downs. For place, I am going with Mr. Peak Elite. He has the experience and is an accomplished trotter. I think Svanstad will have him ready to go. And for show, I'm going with Milady's Monet. He was third from the 7-hole in that Meadowlands Open in his most recent start, trotting a final quarter in 26-3 to miss by a little more than a length. This week he gets the 2-hole with Hall of Famer John Campbell in the bike. So once again in the TVG, I am going with DW's NY Yank to win, Mr. Peak Elite to place, and Milady's Monet to show.
We were so excited by the horsemen and women that we met here and the stories we heard, but we knew we couldn't fit everything into this week's edition of Morning Line. So keep an eye out later this week for an exclusive behind-the-scenes video with the folks from Plainridge Racecourse. Now back to you, Paul.
That'll do it for this week's edition of Morning Line. For Allison Conte, I'm Paul Ramlow. Thanks for joining us, and tune in next week for all your behind-the-scenes harness racing action, including a preview of the Sun Stakes Finals at the Downs at Mohegan Sun Pocono. We'll see you next week on the Morning Line.